Good morning everyone. I am Sharmila, working as faculty of computers in Sanju College of Arts and Science. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on DQ, Unit 2, Section 6.
First of all, what is DQ? DQ means double-ended queue. Double-ended queue is a more generalized form of queue data structure which allows insertion and removal of elements from both the ends, that is, front and back. If you look at this data structure, this is a queue data structure. In this data structure is used to store the data in both sides, front side and rear side. Rear means back side, front means starting point. There are two operations are used in this data structure. One is push, another one is pop. Push means insert the elements, pop means delete the elements. These two operations are performed in both sides, front side and rear side. Okay, this is the DQ data structure. Next, implementation of double-ended queue. Here we will implement a double-ended queue using a circular array. It will have the following methods. First one is push back. That means insert element at back side. Insert means adding. If you look at this data structure, push operation is used to insert the elements into the data structure. Okay. Next, push front. Insert element at front side. That means this push operation is used to insert the elements at front side. That means starting point. Okay. Next, pop back. Removes last element. That means last element is deleted. Pop means deletion operation or method. In this pop operation is used to remove the last element. Okay, back means last. Next, pop front removes first element. That means delete first element. Okay. Next, get back returns last element. Get front returns first element. Empty. In this empty method, returns true if Q is empty. For suppose Q is empty, the condition is true. Okay. Next, full. Returns true if Q is full. Q is full, the condition is true. Okay. These are the methods of DQ. Next, insertion operation. Insertion means adding. Insert elements at front. In this operation is used in insert the elements at front side. Front means starting position. Okay. First we check if the queue is full. If it's not full, we insert an element at front end by following the given conditions. First, if the queue is empty, then initialize front and rear to 0. Both will point to the first element. Okay. If you look at this diagram, this is the DQ data structure. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the indexes. So 10 is added using insertion operation. The element 10 is added. After adding 10, the front equal to rear equal to 0 position. Okay. That means 0 index. The 10 is in 0 location. So front equal to rear equal to 0. Front and rear are same point because only one element is inserted. In this data structure, that element is 10. So front element and rear element is 10. Okay. That means starting element and back element is 10. So both positions are 0. Okay. Front equal to rear equal to 0th position. Next, here we decrement front and insert the element. Since we are using circular array, we have to keep in mind that if front is equal to 0, Then instead of decreasing it by 1, we make it equal to size minus 1. If you look at this diagram, I am inserting the element 12 at front side. In this DQ data structure, front side means this part. Okay? Rear means this. After inserting 12, the front position is 5 because index is 5 in 12, element 12. So front equal to 5. Okay? And rear equal to 0. Say rear is same position. The rear element is 10. Okay? Next I am inserting the element 14 at front side. Okay? 12 after I am inserting the element 14. So 14 is inserted. The front position is changed. Size minus 1. Okay? Decrement the size. So front is 4th position. In inserting the element 12, the front position is 5. After inserting the element 14, the front position is 4. The index is 4, so front position is 4th position. Okay, this is the inserting operation. Next, insert element at back. Okay, adding elements at back side. Back means rear position. Again we check if the queue is full. First we check if the queue is full or not. If the queue is full, then it is an overflow condition. If the queue is not full, after inserting the elements into the DQ. Okay. If the queue is empty, then initialize front and rear to 0. For suppose queue is empty, there is no elements. So front and rear positions are starting position. That means 0 index. Both we point to the first element. Okay. Else we increment rear and insert the element. Since we are using circular array, we have to keep in mind that if rear is equal to size minus 1, then instead of increasing it by 1, we make it equal to 0. Okay. For suppose queue is empty after inserting the elements, and for suppose only one element in this queue, so front and rear positions are same position because only one element is inserted. So after inserting the elements, the positions are changed. Okay. Next, insert the element 21 at rear side. Rear means back side. Okay. 21 inserted. So after 21 is inserted, the rear position is changed. The rear position is 1 because size is decremented by 1. If you look at this, if the queue is empty, then initialize front and rear to 0. Both will point to the first element. Else we increment rear and insert the element. Since we are using the circular array, we have to keep in mind that if rear is equal to size minus 1, then instead of increasing it by 1, so increasing the size 1. Okay, 21 is first position. So rear element is 1 and front element is 4, fourth position. Okay, 14 is the front element and 21 is the rear element. Okay. Next, deletion operation. Deletion means remove the elements into the DQ. Okay. First delete first element. In order to do this, we first check if the queue is empty. If it's not, then delete the front element by following the given condition. Okay. First, check if the queue is empty or not. If the queue is empty, there is no deletion operations are performed. So if the queue is not empty, after perform the deletion operation and delete the elements. Okay. If only one element is present, we once again make front and rear equal to -1. Okay. Front and rear are -1 initial value. Else we increment front, but we have to keep in mind that if front is equal to size -1, then instead of increasing it by 1, we make it equal to 0. Okay. If you look at this diagram, this is the deletion operation from front side. So front element is deleted. First front element is 14. So 14 is deleted using pop operation or deletion operation. So 14 is deleted. After delete the element 14, the front position is changed. If you look at this diagram, after delete 14, the front position is 5. Because only one element in this data structure. After deletion, one element, that is 12 in front side. So front equal to 5th position. The index is 5. So front position is 5th position. The 12 is in front element. Okay. This is the diagram. Next, delete last element. In order to do this, we again first check if the queue is empty or not. Then we delete the last element by following the given condition. Okay. First check if the queue is empty or not. Then we delete the last element. If only one element is present, we make front and rear equal to -1. For suppose only one element into the DQ data structure and the front and rear is equal to -1. That is the initial value. Next, else we decrement rear, but we have to keep in mind that if rear is equal to 0, then instead of decreasing it by 1, we make it equal to size -1. Okay. If you look at this diagram, delete from back. Delete operation is used to perform backside. Backside means rear side. Okay. I am deleting the element 21. So 21 deleted using pop operation. Pop means delete the element. So rear position is changed. Because 21 is deleted, so rear element is 10. Okay. Decremented by position 1. Okay. So rear equal to 0. Only one element, that is 10 in rear side. So 10 is the rear element. The position is 0th position. So rear equal to 0. Okay. Front element is 12. This is the deletion operation in DQ. Next, applications of DQ. The first one is an internet browser's history. Recently visited URLs are supplementary to the front of the DQ, and also the uniform resource located at the rear of the DQ is removed when some such range of insertion at the front. Okay. Next, another common applications of the DQ is storing a computer code applications list of undo operations. Okay. Next, since DQ supports each stack and queue operations, the DQ organization supports right-handed and anti-clockwise rotations in order of one time, which may be helpful in bound applications. Okay, these are the applications of DQ. That means double-ended queue. Next, DQ as stack and queue. As stack, when insertion and deletion is made at the same side, that means stack is a one side open tube, so insertion and deletion operations are performed at one side. Next, queue, when items are inserted at one end and removed at the other end. Queue data structure is a both sides open, so insertion and deletion operations are performed both sides. Okay. And coming to the next topic, that is sparse matrix. A matrix can be defined as a two-dimensional array having m columns and n rows representing m into n matrix. That is, matrix is a two-dimensional array. Columns and rows are representing. Okay. Next, a sparse matrix is a two-dimensional array where the majority of elements have the value 0. So majority of elements is 0 elements and less majority elements is non-zero elements. Okay. Why to use sparse matrix instead of simple matrix? First, storage. There are lesser non-zero elements than zeros, and thus lesser memory can be used to store only those elements. So, less non-zero elements and less memory can be used. Okay. Next, computing time. Computing time can be saved by logical designing a data structure traversing only non-zero elements. Okay, computing time is also saved by logical designing of data structure. Next, sparse matrix representations can be done in many ways. Following are two common representations. One is array representation, another one is linked list representation. First, array representation. Method 1, using arrays. Two-dimensional array is used to represent a sparse matrix in which there are three rows named as row, column, value. First row, index of row, where non-zero element is located. First we can identify the non-zero elements. Next, column, index of column, where non-zero element is located. Next, non-zero element is located which place. Okay. Next, value of the non-zero element located at index, row, comma, column. This is the example. If you look at this is the matrix. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the index. So, row index and column index. So, next, array representation. If you look at this is the array representation. First row, column, value. Okay. First row, where non-zero elements is located, column, non-zero elements is located, value of non-zero elements located at index. Okay. This is the example. First row. This is the row. 0th row. Non-zero elements are two non-zero elements. One is 3, another one is 4. So row is 0th row and column is second column. Non-zero element column number second. So 2 and value is 3. So value is 3. Okay. First row is first data is completed. Next, second non-zero element is 4. Column is 4 and element is 4. Row is 0. Okay. If you look at this, row is 0. Column is 4. Data is 4. Okay. This row is completed. Next, second row. Non-zero elements are 5, 7. Row number is 1. Column is second column. Value is 5. Next non-zero element is 7. So row number is 1. So row number is 1 and column number is 3. Column number 3 and value is 7. Okay. Next, there are no non-zero elements. So next step is here. If you look at this, row number is 3 and column number is 1 and value is 2. Row number 3, column 1, value is 2. Next, non-zero element is 6. So row number is 3, column is second column, value is 6. So row number is 3, column second column, value is 6. So this is the array representation. Okay. Next, method 2, using linked list. In linked list, each node has 4 fields. These 4 fields are defined as row, column, value, next node. Linked list contains nodes. Node has two parts. One is data part and another one is next part. That means address part. So second representation is linked list. So if you look at this, first row, index of row, where non-zero element is located. Next column, index of column, where non-zero element is located. Next value, value of the non-zero elements located at index, row, comma, column. Next node, address of the next node. Okay. If you look at this example, this is the matrix. Okay. In this matrix, the array representation is previous diagram. The values are here. If you look at this, row 0, column 2 and value 3. So in these values are connected in linked list. 0, 2, 3. Row 0, column 2, value is 3. Row 0, column 2, value is 3. So this data is connected in linked representation. Link means forward direction. This arrow mark is link. In this link is connected in forward direction. So all the data is connected into linked list representation. This is a node. Node contains two parts. One is data part, another one is address. This empty space is address. This address part is connected to the next node, and next node address space part is connected to the another node. So in this linked list sequentially connected in forward direction, and the ending point is null, that is stopping point. Okay, first row, 0 is the row, 2 is the column, 3 is the value, and address is the space part. Okay, all the data is connected in sequential order. This is the example for linked representation. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.